Hello, everyone. My name is Anya Robbins, and with me I have John Nevarez.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be
here. So, if you don't know, if you perchance live under a rock, I've got with me John Nevarez, and he is awesome. So I know you're like right there, and you're gonna be like, oh no, but I think I met you like through Lightbox, right?
I think Lightbox like 3 years ago. Or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
A few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago. Yeah. Right after COVID.
Yeah, and so I love all of the influence that you have in there, and meeting you last year in person was really fun. I remember coming up to your booth. You're so warm and you're so kind. And I think in a sea filled with so many artists, it's easy to get like fatigue when you're meeting so many people. And like meeting you was like coming into like a little like happy, warm island where it just felt really, really relaxing and really kind. And so I thought I would thank you for that.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say. Nice. No, thank you. No, I was just happy to be there, and I'm always grateful for being at events like that and meeting folks, because it's exciting, and we're there for to meet folks, see opportunities, and just to get inspired. So I mean, it comes from me too. It's like I get there to like to see folks, meet folks. It's awesome. Great energy. Yeah. Great energy.
Speaking of inspiring, so let's look into some of your work, because I want to show people, because a lot of people just wouldn't know, like I didn't like 5 years ago. I had no idea you existed, right? So let's show people. I'm gonna switch to a side view. Here we go. So he does have an Instagram, and I did put that in the Discord for everyone to go see, but also is his portfolio. And as you can see here, he's worked on the Garfield movies, Scooby-Doo, Coco, like Angry Birds, like Inside Out, like there's Cars 2. There's just, you could just look through this and it's just chock filled with, what is it, like 26 years of experience in the art industry.
Yeah,
you're a giant.
Well, no,
you're a giant, and you're just so humble.
No, I'm just grateful. I'm like everyone else. I'm a survivor, and you just kind of just try and figure out a way to stay in the business as long as you can. You bounce around as much as
but I love it, because a lot of these movies like have just genuinely influenced me, like as a person. And so when I look at all of this, I'm like, holy cow, like this is amazing. One of my favorite things on your site is this here, these cats. I love this concept. And so that's why I wanted to give everyone a surprise today. The theme is going to be Cats Loves Films. So pick a type of cat and pick a like pop culture, like person from a movie, you guys, and just start going. And you will find is going to be super, super fun. As I'm expecting everyone to make some pretty interesting drawings today. I think I'm going to pick Galadriel from, well, depends on where you want to take her from, but it'll be either Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power. I've got a few comments here. Oh, Techie Plays. It's actually your first time being on the stream. Nice. Welcome, Techie Plays. You're welcome to come on the canvas. If you don't have a canvas link, let me hook you up with the invite to the art space and the canvas. You do have to join the art space first, or else it won't let you into the canvas.
I just read Yaga's sweet comments. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, Yaga is like an amazing regular. She's also part of Lightbox. So she's amazing. So she obviously knows all about you. Okay, let me get that link for that one person. Hold on. Here we go. Here is your invite to my art space. You have to click on that one first, and then you can go ahead and click on the Canvas link, which I will link now. And that will take you to the Canvas and you can join us and come draw some pop culture cats. I am so excited. So I wanted to start off really goofy and simple. I love your Instagram handle. For anyone who doesn't know, his Instagram handle is Java John. And so thought I would ask you, what's your favorite coffee order?
Decaf Americano.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I love Americanos because I love coffee, and Americanos I think are, for me, I like the taste better. But I have to do decaf now because I think in 2007, 2008, I was drinking way too much coffee back then. I would go to Starbucks like 5 times a day, and you know the ventis.
What, 5 times? How do you afford that? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I was stupid, and I basically just was spending money where I shouldn't have. But I was like, I would go to Starbucks and get the venti Americanos, not the decaf, the full on. I would get 5 of those a day. And what happened was I was doing that for years, and then I wasn't exercising, I wasn't sleeping well. But I thought like, okay, it just gets me going. And then I guess my body just shut down one day, and I thought I was having a heart attack. And basically, it was similar to a panic attack. My body was just shutting down. So I went to ER, and then doctor said, don't drink coffee anymore for like, till
ever.
Well, he says, don't drink coffee till I say so. That say so ended up being like maybe almost a month. And the first 9 days, I felt like I was going through withdrawal. So I was like sweating. I was stomach pains. I was grumpy, and I was just irritable. It was really bad. After 9 days, I kind of I got sober, so to speak. I got cleansed,
right?
And I was able to I felt better. But then after a while, I would have these panic attacks, and I was just trying to shake off this. I had so much caffeine, and Anyway, long story short, I switched to decaf, and now I'm a decaf guy.
That's a good idea. I should try that because I actually quit coffee this year. Said the girl who had coffee today. So basically, I have coffee about twice a week, never 2 days in a row. Because I kind of had similar, but way less dramatic and way less dangerous. I was just like, when you're just addicted to coffee and you need it just to feel better.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I was like, that's wrong. Something's off with that. So I just was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna get off coffee. So, because I used to be an everyday girl. Yeah, for sure. Every morning.
It's tough to give up, but it's I mean, do it in moderation. It's like, don't go crazy and stupid like I did.
Thank you. I love that. Oh. Okay, trying to do this cat in your style is amazing. It's so fun.
Oh,
I'm already
my style.
Well, I've got like 5 of yours, and then I've got like 5 pictures of Galadriel, and I'm gonna go for it. I'm just going for it. It's fun. I might not achieve your style. I'm just going for it in general.
It's all good. Go for it. Go for it as best you can.
Cats are cute. Cats are the cutest.
Yeah, honestly. They are.
They're so cute.
It's funny. I started drawing the cat character because I'm not a cat person. At least I am now, but I wasn't because I'm more of a dog person. And at conventions, I would just draw something quick, and the cat was the easiest thing because I was kind of like, I was drawing, first I was doing something like, something for, if they wanted a quick sketch like that. And then over time, I started adding to it, and it just, I thought, oh, there's something I could do here. So I started throwing adventures his way and whatever. So it was good.
I love it though. It's so cute.
Oh, thank you. I see that everyone else. It's great. Everyone's doing such a good job.
I know. This community is like amazing. They just start drawing and they just pop up with such amazing stuff every time. I'm always jealous. Like that's just, I'm always in a state of like, low-key like happy jealousy. You know, when you're jealous, but you're also like really happy for the person.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my gosh, how dare you be so good?
Yeah, I hate you, but it's so good.
Yeah, you're amazing. Yeah, that's me on like a regular basis. Sometimes I wonder why I'm the host and they're not the one hosting. And I'm just like, why am I here? But yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's go with ooh. What is a question that you wish someone would ask you that they never do in these kinds of like scenarios?
I'm open to anything boring or whatever, industry or whatever. I can don't mind me, I'm still struggling. Oh, okay. Take it. I'm just curious, where's everybody hailing from? Is everybody like in the East Coast or?
Ooh. I know I'm East Coast. We have a few PST, so West Coast. We have one from the UK.
Cool. Oh, Toronto or Toronto.
Yes.
Cool. Also UK. Cool.
US of A.
And France. So cool.
Oh, you've got a France.
Have you met Jason Deemer when you're at Pixar? Yeah. Let's see, did I work with Jason? I worked with Jason briefly. When I say briefly, like less than a month on Finding Dory. And yeah, he's awesome.
Aww. Finding Dory made me cry so much.
Oh yeah, it was so good. Yeah, no, Jason's great. I mean, I was following his stuff before I went to Pixar, and yeah, I think now he's production designing. I think he was production designer on Inside Out 2.
Is that out or is that coming? I'm not sure.
On streaming?
I think it's out, right?
I think it is out. I think so.
Yeah.
But I think in some areas it's still in the theaters.
Nice. I should go see it. I did enjoy the first one.
It's good. It's I mean, I to be quite honest, every time I go to a sequel, I'm always kind of hesitant because it's like, oh, it's a sequel, and how are they gonna top first? And usually when sequels are made, it's more for a quick money grab. But it was really good. It was a really great, sweet story, and it was kind of like a different chapter of the story, which is great. And I could definitely see it left open for other stories or another part of Raleigh's life, or you could take someone else's, like you could focus on anger or somebody else. So it was great.
Yeah,
really sweet.
Aww. By the way, you guys, you're more than welcome to ask any questions that you want. We'll try to catch them in the chats. Oh my goodness. This board is looking so cute already, you guys. Look at this.
Great work. Beautiful.
My goodness. What we're asking, time does not exist here, right? Stuck on snack time. Okay. I love that. Nexus. Okay, so it's funny. There's a backstory here. Nexus, his little icon is always a raccoon, and his little shtick is he's a raccoon that lives in a trash can across the street. He doesn't live anywhere in particular. He's just a raccoon.
Oh, cool.
So he's one of our moderators. He
nice.
is a wonderful person, and he's really good at drawing. Like it's annoyingly good. Like
no, I mean,
he's just one of those people.
It's so good. I'm looking at everyone else's work. It's beautiful. Beautiful work, everybody. It's so cool.
You know what I'm loving to do? The scraggly whiskers. They're making me happy. Getting to do scraggly whiskers is like the funnest thing ever.
Oh yeah. Those are nice. You can do scraggly whiskers, or you can fit the expression to be sad. They're drooping, or if they're angry, they're all stretched out.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking at a photo of Galadriel being all like moody, so I'm making it like extra serious. Oh man. Are you looking forward to Lightbox this year?
I am. I'm always excited about Lightbox, or at pretty much any event where I meet folks. It's hard to believe it's already like less than 2 months away. Yeah, it just flew. I mean, we're already in September. It's crazy. But yeah, I am excited. Are you gonna
go? So I had my hotel booked and everything, and so a lot of people already know. So I am in the process of immigrating to the United States.
Oh, wonderful.
To rejoin my family, because my husband and my child are down there.
Oh,
and you can't like choose your interview date, right? And last week they came back and they were like, hey, your interview date is on the 23rd of October. And I was like, oh. It's like, yay. But then it's like, so if you pass the interview, they take your passport, right? You can't go anywhere.
Well,
right?
No, yeah.
So I'm not going to put that at jeopardy, right? But hey, good news. In the future, once I've moved to the United States and everything's good and I'm immigrated, then it's just like one short flight. I don't even have to cross a border,
Yeah.
So very much looking forward to all the future years of Lightbox. It's going to be fun.
It'd be awesome.
I'm excited to hear all the stories from people going, though. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's always good to see old friends and meet new friends.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, everyone, if you can hear it. Like, I might go close the window. It's just because the neighbor has a dog, and the dog likes to bark loudly. Hold on. I'll be right back. He's a big boy dog. He's so cute. It's a big black lab.
Wow.
Yep.
He sounds big. He sounds like a big dog.
Yeah. Oh, Yaga says, oh, yeah, how is your... So she says, thanks for being here. This is a massive honor. It is. It super is. How are your personal projects coming these days?
Good. It's thank you for asking. It's going good. It's always a challenge when you have like your day job and then your personal life, and then you want to try and get a personal project going. So it's always about time and energy and stuff. So right now it's kind of off and on. Squeeze as much as I can. So I have like two things I want to do. One, I'm hoping to get prints by Lightbox on one of the projects, and the other, hopefully I can do something with it next year. So, it's these stories you kind of, just like everybody else, could be a character or something like, oh, I can want to do something with that person or that character. So, I guess to answer your question, slow, but good. But thanks, Yaga.
Doesn't it always feel that way though? Like everything.
It's all about time and energy.
Mm-hmm. Everything is always slow.
It is, yeah. Slow but steady. Yes, definitely slow and steady. But it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah,
push
like
are helpful. They kind of, because a lot of people probably don't get satisfied at work creatively or whatever, and personal projects are great for doing that. It's kind of like that's where the love is. That's where you can kind of get into the groove, find the energy, all that good stuff.
aww. Yaga, I had no idea you were such a huge fan. That's so sweet.
I'm sorry, I didn't even read that. I'm sorry. What was?
Oh, don't worry about it. She says she has to get some prints from you someday. She owes you for all the art that she printed off for inspiration during college.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you. No, I mean, hopefully I can. Hopefully one day I can meet you in person. Either I don't know. I only go to either Comic Con or Lightbox, and then sometimes I go to CTN. But I just not to exhibit, but just to attend, just to go and visit.
Fun. Anya, you have no idea how much I've been hyping this event in my college and Toronto animation industry friends. Aww.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
so nice.
I'm awesome.
I'm flattered. I think, I mean, it's between you and our last guest, like, even so, it's like you were so just like I approached you and then you were like, yeah, let's do it. Like I've never had such an easy time trying to get someone onto a Clubhouse, which was just amazing. You're just so sweet. You just like immediately, and I was like, oh, I was expecting more questions. To be honest, I was expecting, like most people ask, like, oh, what is it? They're like, what is it? Like, what do you do? And yeah, I just really appreciate you. Like, you're so like chill about it.
No, I was just flattered when you asked. Because I was familiar with Magma because I've done stuff with schoolism via Magma, and it's really cool. I love it. I love this joint drawing. So no, I'm just like, of course, anyone who kind of reaches out to you, it's like, what? First of all, you know me. It's like, yeah, it's flattering. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you actually judged one of my paintings that I did with a group that I art directed during one of the paint-a-thons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one was yours?
The one with the shark.
Yeah, that was a great one.
The shark
with
one.
the wave. Yeah. That was so cool. Great.
I loved your feedback too. And when you said it, I was like, darn it, because I was thinking some of it. I was like, maybe the ducky can be with the group, and the boat kind of looks like a lighthouse. Like if we moved it a bit, but we ran out of time. And then when you said the feedback, I was like, darn. Like I should have just like sped painted it or something. Like I don't know.
No, I mean sometimes you're kind of when especially I think the time schedules you guys had was like what
it's nuts. It's 24 hours.
Yeah, so you're drawing in a tunnel, and sometimes it's hard to step back and see stuff. You're kind of like on go mode all the time. So
yeah.
But no, everyone did such an awesome job. Oh my gosh,
they
great.
did. I was so happy for the winners. Like winning that type of thing is always like really, really fun, and like people get so like excited over it.
Yeah.
As a mod on the Lightbox server, it's really nice to just because I participated that time, but I usually just like volunteer my time to help moderate. It's just so lovely seeing like people come together and just draw. And that was honestly, the paint-a-thons was my first exposure to Magma.
Wow.
And like, funny story, I hated it the first time I tried it. Watch the CEO like hear this. But no, I hated it because I was like, oh, it's so different from Photoshop. I don't, because anything that's different from what your usual is a little difficult sometimes. But once I got used to it, I was like, dang, the software is like really fun because then you can draw with people, and I'm just so social by nature. So for me, it was just like, yes, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a learning curve. It's an adjustment, but once you get it, it's like, wow, this is so cool.
Exactly. So now I'm just kind of like, Magma for the win. Let's go. Like, trying to get everyone in here. I'm the biggest fan of like community and trying to get people together. So super fun.
That's awesome. I mean, it's so cool when you do that. It's hard. I know nowadays everyone's all over the place remotely and stuff. And
oh yeah.
So it's always good.
I've
stuff like this.
Yeah, I've noticed you try to do that too. You have like a Zoom figure drawing, right? Or am I reading that wrong?
I would do, well, I haven't done that in a while. I think I did that one time, but now near where I live in Northern California, there's a Starbucks next to us, and I started like a small drawing group. It's not a lot. It's like maybe 10 of us, and we try and meet like maybe once or twice a month. We haven't done it since the last month or so. We need to do it again, but we've been doing that. That's always cool. Just meeting in person and drawing over coffee. So it's great.
Oh, that's awesome. I need to find like, once I move down to the States, I need to find like a group in my area that does that. Cause yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. It's so great, and you meet new friends, and you guys get inspired and do stuff together. It's so cool. Let's see, how can
I gotta say though, like this community is like if you're not gonna have, like if you can't have an in-person group, getting together in Discord or Zoom or what have you is always super fun. It's like, if you can't have, like, let's say you're super remote, this is like a really good like replacement kind of a thing.
It's great.
Especially with Magma, because then you can also paint on the same canvas.
These are so awesome. I'm just taking the moment to look at what everyone's doing. It's so good.
Right? Wait, do you keep deleting your art? Wait, sorry, you're not doing that. Oh
no. Cool. It's great.
Oh, I just got it. The guy with the cat coming out of his chest. That's Alien.
Yeah, the burster.
Alien. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah. I didn't know what to do. I started with the cat, and I'm like, oh, okay. So.
I'll just honestly just do whatever. Like, it's not, you don't have to do something that's like serious or anything. Oh man. Oh dude, I'm seeing what is this? I'm trying to figure out like what pop culture one is this, because it's really good. Like, got good line art.
That is great.
Yaga, are you doing Wicked? Please tell me you're doing Wicked. Or Wizard of Oz. You're being predictable. Yes, you are. She always draws something witch themed.
see here.
Oh my goodness. Andy, you're not drawing a dinosaur cat? So Andy is one of our regulars. He always draws dinosaurs, and he's just drawing a cat this time. I'm like, what happened here?
Great. I see Mr. Incredible Cat. Awesome.
Oh, that is
Josie's
great.
Revenge. Alien. Awesome. That's so good. I see Samuel Jackson Cat. Awesome.
Yes. I'm seeing a what's the name for those Despicable Me characters again?
The Minions?
Yes. I'm seeing a Minion cat. That's so cute. So cute. Got to get a move on mine so it starts looking right. I might make the scruffy purple minion cat next. Ooh, go for it. I'd love to see that. Honestly. I would think Galadriel's eyes would be like green. Okay. So having worked for like so many companies that a lot of people simply dream of working for, what would you say is like your favorite one? Or like, where did you have the most fun? Like,
it's hard to answer because they've all been good for different reasons. But I have, let's see, I have like maybe 3 or 4, like really, I don't know if they're favorite, but really great experiences, top experiences that I really loved and cherished. Like I think the first one was Kim Possible. That was awesome because I just started the industry. I think I was like 2 years in, 1 year in. I was a storyboard revisionist, and I learned so much on that show because they were doing stuff that was great, and I was learning so much. And I mean that was a great experience. The second one was probably working on Coco. Coco was awesome. It was special. That was cool. The other one was the Angry Birds movie was really cool because I was just let go from Pixar. I was laid off, and I wasn't really sure what to do next. I think my wife and I were thinking seriously about moving back to LA, which I really didn't want to do because we were actually enjoying the Bay Area, and my daughter was getting rooted, in schools, and she loved it. So I was talking to my friends Pascal Campion and Steve Silver, and they were already working from home, and so they said, yeah, just give it a shot. We can do it. We do it, and we love it, and it offers a whole bunch of these great things. And I tried it. I hated it at first because I'm not used to setting my own schedule. I'm really bad at as far as time management and stuff like that. But after like 3 months or so, I loved it because I learned to manage time and make more time for doing my own stuff, spending more time with family. I was traveling more because I was getting invited to schools, which I loved. It became a happy thing, and it was all around the time of Angry Birds. And I was, I worked with Pete Oswald, the production designer. He was awesome. The crew was great. So I like that because during the time that I was figuring things out, so that was good. And this, Spider-Verse was great too because that was a new experience. I'm just very lucky to work on all these projects. So I'm lucky.
You give such a sweet perspective into all of this. So you still work from home, right?
I do. Yeah, I worked from home since 2014.
Amazing. Amazing. I also really, really love working from home. And I can honestly say that I have also struggled with timekeeping, because the biggest thing like people don't tell you when you start working from home, or that you're, or when you're your own boss, is like, if you don't go and work, like no one's gonna come after you to go and work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's just not gonna happen. So you have to learn to like be disciplined. And so for a lot of people, like when they first start doing that, like that's the biggest barrier, is like learning how to be disciplined versus being like motivated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is an outside source, right?
Yeah. It takes time. I mean, it's not easy because I mean, I was used to someone telling me when something's due, what to do, when to do it. So I relied on that. So I could just sit on my desk and I'm like, okay, you want this when? Cool. But when no one's telling you, and then those responsibilities on your shoulders, it's an adjustment. But that's okay. After a while, I mean, you might hate it at first, or it might be really tough. But after a while, you learn to love it because you are in control of your time and what you want to do.
Exactly.
It's empowering. You just got to give it a chance, and you're gonna probably, club or like get things a little bit maybe wrong or whatever. It's okay. You just learn.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And you definitely learn by your mistakes and by, making a little less than you thought you did, or like budgeting and all that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's good. In the end, it's all good.
It's
It's all for a good
amazing.
thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love working from home. So I'm with you on that one. I love it so much.
Yeah. I do miss working with people, but I try and make up for it socially with other things. But working from home, I mean, I don't miss all the meetings, or I guess if you want to call it the politics or whatever else, the stuff that I don't miss at work. I don't miss that at all. I just focus on work.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Kind of brings you back to like the origin of it all, like the work itself. Like you can just focus on that so much more, or at least that's how I feel.
Yeah, you can just focus on the work, and everything else, it'll figure itself out. Sometimes it's unnecessary, or it's like, well, it's not really worth. It wasn't really a problem, or whatever. It's all good. I always keep saying that. It's all good.
Yeah. You would make a great Canadian. Really good. You're so polite. You're so agreeable. Like, there you go. Someone give him a citizenship. He's good to go.
An honorary citizenship. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, that's like our whole culture. We're just constantly like either apologizing or trying to be like super agreeable with each other. I have never tried to draw someone from pop culture as a cat. This is this is such a challenge in like the best way possible. I'm probably gonna end up trying to refine this later before I
great
like show anyone. But I hope everyone else is having a good time with this prompt, because it's just such a fun prompt. I could have never thought about this, but seeing it on your portfolio, I was like, I cannot resist. This is the greatest prompt of all time. I think this is amazing.
It's fun. When I do the print,
do this?
it's challenging when you like when I try and come up with new characters for the cats. It is a challenge because sometimes you realize like some characters are really easier, or you can kind of, it's something's iconic about them. Like say I'm trying to think of a personality like Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. I mean, he's got the mustache
Mm.
and the iconic hair, so he might be a little easier to pull off because you have iconic features. For Jim, from the same show, it might be a little harder because he doesn't really pop out as much. He's not as iconic. Or Leslie Knope, she has the blonde hair, but she has a bubbly personality. But it's hard to visually show what that personality is unless they're doing something, or at least, So it's one of those things when I do a cat, it's almost like you have to experiment to see if you could pull it off. So sometimes it's good. I mean, sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. Dwight from The Office.
Oh,
I like, people respond to that. I think, because
yeah.
he's so iconic. He's got the shirt, the glasses, the hair.
Yes.
So it's a challenge to kind of get that character.
Yeah, you're right. Because I'm trying to, in trying to do this one, it might read now, but then in a few years it might not. Because right now, Rings of Power is like just out.
Yeah.
But in a few years, it might not be recognizable immediately. Like,
yeah, it's hot on everyone's radar right now. But will it date? Who knows?
will it age well?
Yeah.
We shall see. So were you like always into art growing up, or is that just something you started later in life, or like when exactly did you say, hey, I want to like make this into a job?
I think it was in college. Because when I went, I was born in East LA, and I had Jaime Escalante as a calculus teacher, and he was such a great teacher. Have you heard of the movie Stand and Deliver with Edward James Olmos? He plays like a calculus teacher from the inner city in LA, and he teaches a high school class whose, I guess, the highest math they've ever taken was remedial algebra, and then he kind of teaches them a calculus, and he takes the advanced placement calculus test to get college credit. So he was in the movie. He was a teacher, and he was my teacher. And the class that you see in the movie, that was about 2 years. That was the class 2 years ahead of mine. And what happened was, long story short, I think the class, which was about 15 folks, they took the AP calculus test, and it's all from a 5-point system. 5 is like the best, and then 4 is pretty good, and 3 is okay, passing. So most of them got 4s and 5s, and what happened was the testing board, they were kind of hesitant because they thought, like, this is an inner city school. They never had calculus before. Most of these kids are poor. So they thought they were cheating. So they were like, they told the school, like, well, we think, this is kind of hard to believe. So I think, if I recall, they weren't going to take the test unless the students tested again. So in short notice, they took the test again, and then some of them got higher scores. I mean, they all did well. So it convinced this testing board, like, yeah, you guys did do the test, and it kind of put the school on the map.
Aww.
And so coming back to me, when I took it, he was an awesome teacher, and what you see in the movie is pretty much who he is. Edward James Olmos did a great job, and he made math fun. He made calculus fun, and it kind of convinced me, like, oh, okay, maybe math is a safe, quote unquote, safe thing to pursue. Maybe accounting, or I could do something with math. So I went to UC Santa Barbara, University of California, Santa Barbara, as a math major, and I was there for 2 years, and I was taking like engineering calculus and stuff, and I realized after 2 years that I hated math and I sucked at it.
Oh.
I got an F on a final, and
Oh.
I got a letter from the DM. So I was like, oh man, I got a letter. I got to see the dean, academic probation. And all my friends, they'd gotten a letter, I guess, at one point. And they said, oh yeah, just go to the dean. Just say you're going to change majors. It'll be fine. So I did. And I said, I'm going to change majors. And he was, great. You're not going to do it here. And he kicked me out of school. And I went back to East LA College. And I was pretty much for like 2 or 3 years just floating, taking odd jobs just to help my mom and dad pay rent because we weren't rich. We were just, my dad was a gardener. My mom was a seamstress. So, I was doing anything to help pay rent. And I would take classes at a junior college, life drawing classes, just to cheer myself up. Just, something different. And I did that for 3 years. I took some art history classes on the side and a few other classes that I got enough credits to go back to UC Santa Barbara. And then I was an art major, and I graduated when I was 25. And that's it. I was an art major, but that was a long way to get there. I was 25, and it took a while. But then I couldn't get a job.
I love hearing all that. Thank you for going into such detail.
Oh no,
I love hearing the story.
Thanks. It was just, I mean, I didn't go to Art Center. I didn't go to Cal Arts, or I wish I wanted to. But yeah, I took the long way, and I got in, fortunately. And I started when I was 31 in the industry, so it's never too late.
Man, I'm like about to be 31 in March.
Oh, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get the call soon.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, it just people have different journeys, so nothing's impossible.
Oh, of course. Of course. I'd love to hear it though. That's fascinating. I also sucked at math. I barely like finished my high school math. just barely skidded by. I could not.
It's okay. I mean, it's like, sometimes you find eventually you'll find what you like to do, or what you're meant to do, or what you want to do. It's not easy. It's like all these young kids selecting majors. It's like, well, that doesn't mean you can do it for the rest of your life. It's just something to pursue in the meantime. So it's all good.
Yeah. I find it so incredibly rare when somebody like just immediately finds what they want to do for the rest of their life. Like the age that people go into college, I'm always fascinated if they find what they want to do immediately. Like that to me does not compute, because I only like really, really found what I wanted to do like much later. I would say like a few years ago. Like, hey, it was maybe like 2 years ago that I decided to like dedicate my life to this craft. So
yeah, it's, I mean, I'm really I'm blown away and envious, been happy when people know what they want to do early. Sometimes it takes a while. It's all, it's not a race.
Yeah, like I think of myself when I was some of these kids' ages, and I'm like, I couldn't have made such a such a decision. I was like not there yet. We have Yaga who's saying, when I finally get around to coming to John's booth for a print, I'm not asking for an autograph. I'm asking him to write, "It's all good."
It's all good. Yeah. Yeah. It's all good.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It's all good in the hood. It's all good in the hood. It's all gonna be okay. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, how do I reach these kids? Wow, if you went. Oh, I'm not sure who wrote that. Oh, Yaga. Yeah. Yeah. So, all good.
Dude, I'm having the best time. This is the best exercise ever. Like, just simplification is so hard. Like, when you think of, you're looking at like a real human being, and then there's just like, you're looking at like a real cat, and you have to like simplify that into like a cartoon version meshed of those two things together. I admire anyone who can do that. Like, just, it's crazy.
It's a challenge.
So hard. It is. It's
a
harder
good
than you
challenge.
might think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no
In
right
the
or
best way
wrong.
possible.
Yeah. You know, you just kind of just go with it.
Oh, you just reminded me of Bob Ross. Like, happy little trees, happy accidents. It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah.
You know? Oh, man. I think if I also did my little research correctly, do you have like, I think you have like portfolio mentorships, right? Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe?
I was doing that
Yeah.
earlier in the year, where
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I do that anyway throughout the year, and then I was doing more of a formal thing where I would take in a class for about maybe 10 or 12 students, and that was great. And I had to put that on pause because after July, I was fortunate to have like multiple gigs, so I had to like focus on the gigs for the time being. So, but I do,
Gotcha.
I have done that, and that's great. It's kind of it's a mentorship program. So I'll talk with the the applicant, and we kind of go over either something in their portfolio, an existing project they didn't finish, or it could be like a character, and we're like, well, let's see what we can do with that. And we try and create like a series of work, like a mini art of piece based on, it could be a story of this character or a journey through these sets or something. And we add more, we try and add more cinematic storytelling, or we try and showcase certain things. Like, if someone is great with color or composition, it's like, well, how can we, what can we do with pieces you have? Or if it's not pieces in the portfolio, or they don't have anything in there, like, we'll create something. And we just kind of, for 10 weeks, we just kind of, see if we can get a body of work that we can add in the portfolio.
That's nice. So if somebody's looking for that, how would they reach you about it?
They can either email me or by Instagram. And Instagram is where I was advertising it, so you can always message me there. And
nice.
That's where I would then talk with the person, and then I like to look at their portfolio first, because I like to gauge their skill level, because sometimes if they're like really beginner, this it'd be too advanced to kind of create the series of work, because you'd have to know composition and perspective and all this other stuff first before you get there. So I would like to see, well, where you're at first, and then then I see the pieces they have, and I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Is there something there you want to do, or we can figure it out? And then we just try and figure out a simple story. We don't write a novel or anything. We're just kind of like, well, what are the parts of the story? And then we just define the parts, and we just draw the parts. And then the parts will then be worked, reworked. So, we'll take multiple passes until everything is kind of there. And everything is focused more on value. We don't focus on color, because color is another thing. And for the time we have, I like to just focus on the meat and potatoes of the composition. Just kind of like the shot, the staging, and we can use in value. Values is a great way to look at lighting. What's being lit, not lit. What's far, what's away, that kind of thing.
Nice. Yeah, I think so I'm about ready to make a portfolio, but I do need to sharpen up my perspective skills. So I'm actually going to be taking the perspective course that that Proco has done with Marshall Vandruff starting in October. And then once I'm done that, I'm going to be looking to bang out a portfolio. So I might actually hit you up myself.
Yeah, anytime. I'd be more than happy to help out any way I can. Let me know.
Nice. Because No, that would be awesome. Just because I'm really looking to give it like a really nice shot. But yes, fundamentals first, people. You're never too good to brush up fundamentals. I have seriously been oh, when you think like, oh, I think I'm doing good, and then you like try something that is a little bit like outside your comfort zone. And then you're like, oh, the humbling that I never knew I needed.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I get that every day, every week. It's you figure it out. I mean, part of the job being in biz dev is like you figure it out because there's no answer book. It's like you're given a task. It's like Project Runway. You're given a task and you got to figure it out by this time. So that's what it is. A lot of it is problem solving. I mean, all that pretty picture stuff is the end stuff. A lot of the figuring stuff out is like all the thumbnails and the reference and like, well, will this work? Does that work? You explore it. It's just that's all. That's mostly what the job is. You're just trying to see what works, but what'll fit.
I love it though. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to do that.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
It
makes you a stronger designer.
Oh yeah, because dude, I have none of that. I'm very like illustration, and I want to grow into like design and like concept and all of that kind of stuff. But
and I've seen your work. Your stuff is so beautiful.
Thank you. I feel like I've done a lot of studying. I've done a lot of work on my fundamentals, and I'm just like I'm in a plane and I'm about to do the jump, but I've got like 4 out of my 5 parachutes, and I just need to learn perspective, and then I can jump off the plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that you can learn perspective in one sitting, but.
Perspective is just like all the other ones. It just takes practice and just do it. I mean, go in and just say, okay, make as many mistakes as you can. Don't worry about the mistakes. I think that's what freezes people. They're like, oh, it's not perfect. It's like, so what? It's like, just go in.
It's not going to be.
Make as many mistakes as possible and move on. And the more you do it, these mistakes aren't mistakes. They're just marks on a paper that are early. They're the early marks until you get to the marks you want or you need. So, every Monday I make mistakes. Every day I make mistakes, but they're not mistakes. They're just me trying to figure it out. That's what the job is.
Oh my gosh! Somebody write down the quote, guys.
No.
Amazing quotes by people on these live streams. That is one of them. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I know because then people I'll get all hung up on how it's not perfect. I'm like, nothing's really perfect. There's just weaker and stronger. Think of things as weaker and stronger.
It is such a whole different ball game. Like when you start to change things, instead of just paint like the rough itself, when you start to be able to like change things, is like it's actually such a different ball game. And I appreciate the people that can do that. That's so much more now that I've started doing it. It is just so different, so different. And I'm so impressed by the people who can do it. Like, dang,
It's cool. I mean, when you work for a studio, it's kind of like a game. It's a riddle. It's a game. It's Project Runway. It's like you're working for your boss. Your boss would be your director, your art director, and they need this. You need to fill the void, and you have to like find what that void is. It's like this story needs this, or we need that character. Again, you have to figure out what that is, and
finding the gap and standing in it.
Yeah, you learn how to do it within time constraints, because it's, like, again, they give you a limited amount of time to figure it out. So then you have to work smart. You have to work so it doesn't kill you. So you have to, like, you know, get your reference, and then save your love, or all that hard work when you need to. Don't go on to pretty pictures at the beginning. Do nice rough concepts that are just strong thumbnails that, like, you're just trying to find it. And then it's like a communication, it's a back and forth. And then once your director or your art director likes what they want, it's like, okay, you're trying to find a target. Once you get closer to a target, then you can put more love and all that beautiful
Mm.
sexiness in it. But you got to, like, know where that is, because right now we're going in blind. We don't know what it is. But you learn you try and work so it doesn't kill you. Work smart, and you try and do it within 8 hours, because they pay you for 8 hours. Because if you work more than that, you're going to burn yourself out. And
You're shortchanging your amount per hour too.
Yeah, you're giving them free work. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want, but that's less time for you and your family or your loved ones or whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just love hearing all this perspective, because it's just like you can really tell, like, you just have such experience with all of this, and it's just really, really lovely to, like, just hear it all. So I know that's kind of an obvious thing, but I just thank you. It's really nice to hear.
No, I had experiences where I was doing more work than I should have, or giving them, doing 14-hour days, and I realized, why am I doing this? And just, in the end, you don't want to give them. I mean, you want to condition yourself to work for what they pay you. So that means changing how you work, or because I know a lot of students, they graduate, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to work for free, and I'm going to
Oof.
do this and that, because I'm so happy I have the job. It's like, well, say that on the inside. Don't say it out loud. You're now a working professional,
Yeah.
and the industry it's a business. It's all about, like, what can we do for less, and how can we, you know, most of the time when they budget time, they barely give you enough time to do what you need to do. So
Mhm.
you have to be the professional, and, like, find a way to do what they need to without killing yourself, but without wasting your time. So you figure it out. You learn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we do have a question from Yaga here. Hey,
Yeah.
John, I have a question about your experience in design. Have you ever had a frustrating experience with a client where they maybe didn't click with your designs, gave unbearable notes, or just didn't seem to know what they wanted?
Yeah, I've had that. And then I guess at that point, yeah, I just try and, because I can't read their minds. Sometimes it's and it's a communication thing, because some directors, they may not know what they want, or others, they're very critical. They're trying to look for something specific. So yeah, I've had
Mm.
that many times. So you just try and do the best you can. You try and ideally there's someone there taking notes and trying to record what's going on, or at least kind of dictate whatever they want. So um, yeah, I mean, it's happened. So to just try and take the steps to try and get what you need. Maybe it starts with communication first, asking the questions before you try and draw it, because you can draw it 100 ways, but you may not get closer to what they want. So yeah, just you learn to communicate. Sometimes you gotta, like, well, is start with photo reference, because it'll save you from drawing. So when they look at a photo reference board, it's more of like, well, do you like this or do you like that? Oh, you like that? Okay, what do you like about that? And you're trying to find, you're in this vague blackness of space, and you're trying to find a moon, or a satellite, or some planet that you can, like, move your spaceship towards. So
Hmm.
that's, you're trying to find this target. So that's where it begins, and that's where That's
Aw.
how you kind of guide it. Then you ask questions on the way. Well, do you like this? Oh, what do you like about it? Just, well, here's this version. You kind of just try to find, it's communication. A lot of it's communication. A lot of it is because it's like you're trying to give the director what he or she wants. But we can't read minds. We're not fortune tellers. We just kind of try and communicate what it is, and then we give them the best version we have, or versions we have, and hopefully it gets closer and closer. So I don't know if I answered. Well, I was gonna say I don't know if I answered that because there really is an answer. You just gotta just it's communicating, going back and forth.
No, I think you did. She says, "Awesome, thank you. I just needed reassurance that pros get that too."
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, I mean I'm sure everybody gets it. So.
Yeah, I think it's just like, so with that, I've had many commissions. I don't generally do like commissions for individuals anymore. I do them for companies, but when I did do them for individuals, and this is the reason why I don't do them for individuals usually, is just if somebody is willing to pay a lot for your work, they will. It's really funny because they'll give you less of a hard time because they respect your work. And the people that are trying to get your work for free or for pennies are usually the people that have the most revisions. That's what I've kind of seen.
Yeah, because I totally understand, because they want everything for free. They want everything for nothing, and they're usually the ones that are the most hard to deal with. They always complain. They're never satisfied, and even when they're doing it for free or all this stuff, they'll still complain. They'll find a reason to complain.
Yeah.
And they're not worth your time or your energy or anything. That's why it's always good to work with people that at least appreciate your artwork, respect your artwork, or let you do what you want, or at least know a little bit about what you're doing. I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know some people who can you do it for free? I can only pay this much. So right away, they might be trying to get less money. They're trying to pay less money, and then they'll have the most demands.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a trend. And Ryan says here, exact same with writing and editing jobs. It's kind of the same everywhere. And so, like in my early career, when I was doing commissions for individuals, I ran into this a lot. And I had to speak to a few professionals before I realized, like, oh, that's a thing. Like, that's a major thing. And it's sad that it's this way. But, encountering that kind of thing actually made my bedside manner a lot better for when I was dealing with people who actually did respect me. So dealing with that actually was not lost money for me because it allowed me to grow my skills in that area in the most challenging, what I will call battleground. And then now that I'm working with some good people, like Magma, I'm able to, because I'm going to be doing a banner with John Hardesty for their website.
Oh, nice.
Like they're amazing to work for and with. So I'm like super excited for that.
Awesome.
And they do respect my art, and they'll give me like the whole prompt, and they don't have like they won't. I just know they won't. They won't have like 20 million revisions. They might be like super honest and be like, we like this part. Can you they'll be honest, but they won't be like some of these people, which I know Yaga may be thinking of. It's these people that come in with like, well, that doesn't look right, so I'm not going to pay you. What?
No, I think what you have to do is you have to come in like a professional, because a lot of these folks are probably they're not used to working with professionals or people who are organized and structured and who have a plan or who expect a certain level. So maybe if you know right away, or even before, you should always say something like, okay, I'll work with you, but I have 2 revision passes. Anything more, you got to pay $100 more or $200 more. So right away up front, you're professional with your time, and you're saying like, you know what, we're not going to waste our time. If you're going to keep spinning me with new orders or work, it's going to cost you. Maybe you say like, you get 2 free passes, and that's it. And you dictate the collaboration, because then you'll know right away if you're working with someone who's going to respect that, or it's like, oh, this is too much. It's like they're not going to have their way. They're not going to like, you know,
Yeah.
and you'll know right away if you dodged a bullet. Like, okay, if this person is worth it or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, because then you haven't drawn already, so you haven't wasted any of your time. So if you come out right out the gate and say that and they're not cool with it, then you haven't drawn anything, so you're good.
Yeah.
So that's genius.
It just kind of, I mean, I learned early on, it's like, you have to treat yourself like a professional, because I know a lot of people have this syndrome or this kind of self-conscious attitude where, well, I'm not good enough, or, I don't have enough experience. It's like, no, think of yourself as a young professional. That doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. You just haven't had the opportunity to learn it yet. But it doesn't mean that people need to take advantage of you. It's a business. In the end, it's business. You're providing a service for someone who's paying you. They want something out of you. They like your work. Otherwise, you wouldn't have this conversation. They approached you for something. So knowing that, it's like, well, be fair to yourself and to the craft, and don't do anything for free. Try and find a reasonable fare, but at the same time, find reasonable ways of working. So that way, you make them happy, but you make yourself happy, and you're not driving yourself crazy. So, just say like, 2 passes. If I need a commission, well, pay me a half front, pay me half the money when I'm halfway there, and I determine when halfway is there. And the second, you just find ways to protect yourself, because there's a lot of snakes out there. There's a lot of people out there who take advantage. And
yeah. And it's sad. Like, I've done the free commission thing as well. And all you do is you end up creating one more person who expects free art from artists.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And I'm not pointing the finger at anybody here. If you did it, good for you. You were generous and a sweetheart. But it's also true that, then that person goes, oh, I got it free from this person, so I can get it free from this person and from this person if I want to. And then it just, what?
They'll always throw that. And so what you want to do is say like, well, good. That's not, I can get it from me. If you want something, if you want serious artwork, I'm a serious person. If you don't want to be serious, I won't either. And, you can kindly say, well, maybe I'm not, maybe you should spend your time on someone who can do it for free. Because, someone can do it for free, you're going to get the work. You're going to get free work. What does free work look like? So you got to like, in a kind way, tell them like, you got to be serious.
It's the same thing as when you drive your car, you go to the mechanic, you're like, hey, can you fix my car? And then they come back with a quote, right? You don't go, oh, I thought you would do it for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would get laughed out of the store.
Yeah. When you have a plumbing issue, you have to pay the plumber. When you have a law issue, you go pay your lawyer. When you have something
a lack of art,
computer, a lack of art. I mean, same thing. I think a lot of people have this perception like art is art. Why am I paying for art? But they tell you like it's probably not important. At the same time, they make all these demands like it is.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's the best thing I heard on. I was like, I know this is stupid because I don't know the source, but I listen to a lot of like motivational people online, like the people that really talk about like discipline and that kind of thing. And it was someone saying like people don't value art until they've lived a tragedy, like a breakup, like a really hard divorce, or like someone died in their life or something like that. And then they're listening to beautiful music and going to museums and like trying to connect with things. Art is never important until you are living something that is so hard to live with that you want to find outlets for your emotions.
Yeah.
Art is at the foundation of human beings. And a lot of people who are not appreciative of it, it's usually because they haven't lived through like a really tough hardship, or they haven't seen the beauty of holding your first child in your arms. It's the extremes of human life that bring out the art in us and the music in us, and the dance, all those like artistic pursuits.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's. I mean, art's an emotional thing, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a poetic thing, you know, and it's expressionist thing. It's not a widget. It's not a physical thing, you know. It can be, but it's it's something different. I think a lot of people don't understand it until, like you said, until they emotionally they're in a place where they need it or want
Yeah.
it. But yeah.
Yeah, and that is the word to be used. They do need it.
Mhm.
Like you'll find so many people reach for books and art and music as soon as something wonderful happens or something terrible happens.
Yeah.
Either extremes. Because they want human contact, and that's the whole point of art. Like you sit down to draw, you're trying to express your human being. You're trying to express the emotions, and so you're reaching out into the void,
Mhm.
and then whoever likes your piece is basically also reaching out, and then you grab hands. That's all it is, really.
Yeah.
Um,
It's true. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, you mean that was said perfectly. It's that's why people love movies or music or art. Because it's the human connection. It taps you into somewhere, emotionally.
yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, a lot of people, yeah. I think everything they kind of compartmentalize things into like, oh, this is this and that is they don't take it seriously or they don't know what it is. It's some kind of
Mm.
and they may not put value on it yet, but no, but I mean that's okay. I mean, I think artists we need to put value on our work. You should, you
Yeah.
know, what you do is important. What you do is valuable. And somebody wants it or needs it. So, you know, it's wonderful that we can do this, but also know that, it's a business. You should, you know, if you can, definitely, you know, make money from it, or at least it should support you in a way, you know. So,
Yeah, like so for me, what I've done is actually it's funny. It was yourself. We were chatting and you just like looked at me sideways and you're like, you should teach. And that very same day, I kid you not, so I'm at Lightbox. That
mhm.
very same day, like 7 people individually came to me and was like, do you have a mentorship yet? Because like we'd love to be a mentee. And I was like, what?
Really,
So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
same day. And so like I came back from Lightbox last year and I reached out to those 7 people and I was like, hey, do you want to be a mentee? Because I will start mentoring you. And so that's one of my income streams now.
That's
And
awesome.
I love teaching. Not only is it an expansion of, the reason I love art and music is because I love to connect with people. So it's like an extension of that. I love to like find where people are at, figure out like which exercises will fit with where they are in the process, and like get the fundamentals up. Um, but so there's that I can do to earn money, and then I can do like commissions for different companies that want like banners and such and
Yeah.
illustrations. And I'm looking to get more of that. Um, but yeah, if you can't, I guess what I'm trying to say is like last year I was making illustrations for individuals and having a hard time and dealing with exactly what Yaga is describing. And this year I'm doing so much better because I've gone out of my way to try and create my own jobs. Um, so I guess what I want to say is like try to look for a need. Like I saw that last year Magma I saw kind of the need for like, okay, someone needs to manage their Discord. And then I was like, okay, well I can stand in that gap. And then okay, well, I see these people that are asking for a mentorship. I want to stand in that gap. Find the gap in your life when it comes to art relation that is art related, and just like stand in it. And I swear, like things just come your way. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. I love it. I love it so much. I can't express like how happy I am. Like when you do something that you're just like, oh my gosh, I was meant to do this. This is so fun.
Yeah, you're fulfilling something there that you probably nobody at the moment can do, but you're doing it, and people are responding to what you do, and it's an opportunity to make money or other opportunities. It's wonderful when it's like, wow, it's like it feels like everything's clicking. You're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And
yeah. And then you can like, instead of spending it all on yourself, you like reinvest into your own business. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And then just, I gotta say, I have never like been so happy to work, but also never worked so much in my entire life. It's like, this is what I do for fun now. Like, this is just like,
that's
like, this is just amazing. And I don't know. I feel like when you do find where you're supposed to be, that's what it's like. And so I'm just really thankful and really happy.
That's great, because I think that's what people strive to try and find something, a place or somewhere where they can do what they want. They're happy, and if they can make money out of it or opportunities, that's what we all want. That's what we all try and strive to get or achieve. So when you're there, when that happens, it's wonderful. It's awesome.
Yeah. It was really cool. I think the last thing you said to me, which was actually at Lightbox, and this is what I described. You were so warm and kind because you came over, you hugged me, and then you were like, all right, now go find you some work. Let's go find you some work. And you let me go. And things have exploded in terms of finding work for myself. And so like, it's just been crazy. And I wish that for everyone here. Like if you are trying to find something, just keep searching, because it just feels like when it happens, it's falling into your lap. Like you don't really have to, I don't know. Does it feel like that way for you? Like when you land something, it's not like forced. It just happens very organically.
Like it just felt like it. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Sometimes it's like it just happened, and like, oh, it was maybe meant to be or something. It just just clicked in the right area or right in the right way, and it landed on your lap in the most best time it could be, and you're in the best position to do it. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird kind of things. It can be happy things. Things happen for many reasons. Either you try and you get it, or sometimes it lands on you, either by luck or by accident or by unseen fortune. You don't know, but you take any and every opportunity. You just go for it. So everything's You're gonna go through many. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna keep happening. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I find the more, that's what's funny. I get so many questions of like, what should I do on social media to get the results that you have? And I'm always like, okay, I don't focus on social media. I find the more that I focus on solidifying my fundamentals, the more things just happen, because you're not necessarily focused on making money in and of itself, and you're not focused on like social media or anything. You're just actually focused on like the work itself.
Yeah.
And then things happen based on that. And I think it's John Hardesty kept drilling that into me like the whole multiple years that I was simply like just nonstop studying. And what do you know it? Gosh darn it, the man was right. It's just so funny. When cause you'll be like studying and stuff, and you'll be like, and then it does happen, and you're just like, oh, gee golly whiz.
Yeah.
Like, dang. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
That's
So can I just like, oh my gosh, the board.
It's beautiful. I've been looking at it. It's so good. Everybody.
Amazing! What the heck? Oh, look at
It's
all of
so good.
these. It's actually amazing. Oh my goodness.
It's all good. I love it.
Yep. Yep. That is your tagline now and forever. It's perfect.
Oh, there it is. Perfect. Yes.
Yep. That's from Yaga there.
Nice.
So funny. Oh my gosh.
It's really, really beautiful,
So
everybody.
I think I want to ask you one last question before we end this. If you could say one piece of advice to you when you first started your art journey, what would it be?
Like if I was to tell my younger self something.
Yeah, when you first
Uh,
started, like when you were like, okay, I want to do this.
I would say there's several things, I guess. Don't worry about
Top three?
don't worry about yeah, it's like yeah, don't worry about stuff so much. I mean, I think a lot of people worry about a lot of things when they're young, and a lot of it you'll realize when you get older. I mean, you'll probably realize it too when you get older. It's like a lot of it you don't have to worry about. I think we put too much stress on ourselves. Don't worry about making mistakes. You have to make mistakes. We're not perfect, and uh, this craft is all about making mistakes. So embrace the mistakes. Like I said, we don't draw everything perfectly. We don't read minds. We're not fortune tellers. I wish we were, because if we were, I'd be in the wrong business. I'd be in Vegas making lots of money on games. But I don't do that. What we do is we try and figure it out. Take care of yourself. Um, physically and mentally, because this is a very stressful job, and you'll deal with a lot of assholes and people who suck, who really can demand a lot out of you, or can be maybe not the nicest and stuff. So you gotta take care of yourself. Let's see. I know I'm probably gonna have a lot of answers after we say goodbye, but I'll be like, oh, I forgot to say that. I forgot to say that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. I get it right now. It's a really tough time right now, especially for young professionals and folks still in art school who are going to graduate. And if you see what's out there, yeah, it's a sucky time. It's a very tough time. It's been like that for the last 2 years, but it will get better. I mean, everything does pick up. What you want to do is be ready for it when it does. Just it's not over. The industry, is going through this weird flux, but it's going to get better. Just be ready when it does. So that means just keep focusing on your artwork. Just keep doing your thing. But you always have to keep doing that. It's an ongoing thing. Always work on your stuff. Always work on professional portfolios, especially when you're young, because as soon as you get your first job, start looking for your second job, because you don't know how long this first job will be. Things can happen just like anything else. Also, start working on personal projects on the side, because when you look for your second job, you can't show them the first job because you signed an NDA. You have to wait if and when it gets published. So work on something on the side, because as your skill sets grow, you can apply them in your personal project, and that personal project you can show to your next prospective client, studio, recruiter, whoever. So
That's smart.
yeah, until you get a body of work, until you get a lot of professional body work, then you can put in your portfolio. But in the time being, your personal stuff is going to be the one that you want to showcase. So, yeah, so just kind of do that. Yeah, just give yourself some time. A lot of people are like, I need a job now. Yeah, I know we all need jobs, but stay in the game. Keep it your skill sets. Just don't stop. Don't give up. If this is what you really want to do, go for it. And I know it's easy to stop, it's easy to give up, but it'll be okay. Just kind of keep doing your thing.
I love that. And like, so much respect to all the people doing that. Because what he just said, what he just pointed out, is like, you go to work and you do your job all day, and then you come home, and then guess what? You're doing more art in the evening. Like, it takes a special kind of person to work that much and to fall in love with the work to that degree. It takes a special kind of like obsession, love, self-sacrifice, and it takes a special kind of support circle. Like, you got to support yourself with family that understand you, with friends that uplift you and help support you. Yes, lots of stubbornness.
Lots of stubbornness.
And
yeah, I mean, and just like what Anya says, it's like, you know, it just probably means working a little bit harder, but not all the time. You don't want to burn yourself out. I mean, come up for air.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, if you don't, there's something you don't have a good grasp at, try and, you know, learn it. You know, if you're not good at perspective, learn it. And then once you have perspective, then apply, you know, do compositions, put your character into composition, learn about lighting and stuff like that. You know, treat it like you would do at work. You know, Steven Spielberg told you to do this. Like, oh, I have a movie about giraffes, and they're in a jazz club, and they're playing in Toronto, and they want to, you know, one of them wants to be really good, and there's a performance, and that's where his life can change. And you're like, and Steven Spielberg approached you and says, like, okay, I want you to design, what does that character look like? Give me about 10 images of what that story could be from beginning to end. And you're like, okay. So you probably never drawn a giraffe, or you probably have never been inside a jazz club or drawn instruments or any of this stuff. And you're probably saying like, whoa, no, fine. Then rise up, do your reference, do your research, and do it. Why? Because Steven Spielberg told you to do this. But also, that's the job. I mean, in visual development, especially for a studio, probably 95% of the time, maybe 98% of the time, we don't draw what we want. We draw what is being told that we have to do. So, you know, you do it. You approach it. You say yes. You accept it. You accept the challenge. Do your reference. Do your research. And do it. That's the job. So
challenge accepted.
Yeah, it's you just have to realize that a lot of it is just acceptance. You just have to, like, okay, are you up for it? Go. And then mess up. Good. Keep going. Get up and go. Keep going. You know? And the more you do it, it's a process. You realize it's a process. So,
wow.
So I just encourage people, just have that attitude going in. You know, you're not gonna get it right the first time. No, it's a back and forth process. You know, and the more you do it, you realize this is what the job is. So it'll be okay. And then just take care of yourself. You know, go out for walks. Don't sit near your desk the whole time. Don't drink as much coffee. You know, that kind of thing. Try and get 8 hours sleep. You know,
I'm sorry for that first question. I didn't know it would go so serious.
No, I'm glad, because it's like, I mean, I think a lot of us kind of live by coffee, or we're always nursing our drinks, and you know, caffeine's good, but just like anything else, just maybe in moderation. You know, don't go so crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, sadly, we have to leave this clubhouse. You've been amazing, John. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Anya, so much, and thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm saying this. Wait, hold on. Let me take.
This board, like, what? They're amazing.
Beautiful. That's so good. Everyone, it's so good. Oh my gosh, the level of detail, everything. It's beautiful.
Isn't it great to be on the same board as everyone? Like, it's so fun.
Yeah. Oh, this is
like awesome. A big hug. It's like we're all around the same piece of paper doing our little doodles.
It is. It's just like a timestamp of this moment. Awesome.
Aww. Well, cool. I'm gonna wish all of you guys a wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah, and I wish, I mean, everyone here on the board, thank you so much for, you know, sharing your time with me, and And yeah, I just wish you all the very best, and hope you guys have just, you know, opportunities ahead of you forthcoming. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, just reach out on Instagram, please.
Aw. All right. Well, see you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys. See ya.